I am your
some.
sous chef today.
Oh, wow.
I'm assisting you. Whatever
Wow.
you need, Dodo.
Hopefully somebody is recording that.
Buongiorno. I'm Lidia Bastianich, and this is Chef Fortunato Nicotra. And we are the team at Felidia restaurant. Today, you're going to have a lesson in making risotto. We love making risotto, but it's not easy. To help you in that as well, we just came out with a new book, the Felidia cookbook.
One of my favorite is risotto with beet, goat cheese and balsamic. It's a little different than any other risotto.
But it's delicious.
We're gonna start with beets, just raw beet.
How long do you let it cook?
35-40 minutes until they are soft. We're gonna do a reduction of balsamic. In a restaurant we use traditional balsamic, 25 years age, crazy expensive. But you can make it your own. So you can buy like a cheaper balsamic and you can put some of the aroma or herbs you like to. We're gonna use some bay leaves, just a little bit of rosemary, clove of garlic.
And so this you let cook until it almost comes down to half.
Syrupy consistency.
Like molasses. I think the beets are done. This is how you test. You put the fork in there, and it has to penetrate the beet, but you have to feel a little resistance.
Yeah, it will be firm, nice and firm.
So you peel it just like that.
Yeah.
Take the skin off, and you're gonna reserve the liquid too, right?
Yeah, for the risotto, we like the color of also the flavor, not just the color.
You shred the beets.
So we're gonna save some of the cooking liquid. We're gonna strain the little pieces of the beets. I was called la barba de beets.
The beard of the beets.
That's it, we're ready to go now.
The balsamic vinegar is getting denser and denser, and it's coating the spoon. We'll let it boil a little more. What do you think, Dodo?
Yeah, take probably 5-6 more
A
minutes.
little more.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll clean up here, and we go to the risotto making. Risotto. Now we're into it. Risotto technique is one of going back and forth, putting stock into the risotto. So a nice white pan is important. Even distribution of heat to every kernel of the rice. Risotto begins with some flavoring agent, usually onion shallots. To make risotto, you need short grain rice. The short grain starch is the one that kind of breaks down, and you want to coax out of that kernel into the risotto to make it creamy. The process of a risotto is you're beginning to flavor the base.
We want to just do sweat the onion. We have to be sure just not a really high flame because we don't want to burn the onion.
And you want the onions to disintegrate into your risotto. So you want it mellowly cooked, let it kind of break down, and then with the addition of wine, of everything else, it will become part of the risotto, and that's what you want. So you put the rice in when you felt the onion was wilted enough. What he's doing now here, he is actually toasting the rice on dry, so just the oil, toasting each kernel so that he builds like a shell around it that will contain the integrity of the rice.
Next is wine.
You want a good wine. You want a wine that you would drink. Toasted rice is thirsty. It's taking in the acidity and the flavor of the wine. So every little movement, every addition that you do has a reason in risotto. What's next, Dodo?
Next is we can start to add our liquid. The wine is completely being absorbed, so we can start with broth. We put a little bit of the broth.
You can have chicken, you can have vegetable. You know, if you're a vegetarian, this is a vegetarian dish. He's adding a little bit of the beet water to give it some color and again, flavor. Now we're gonna begin to pull out those starches. And you do that by adding the liquid a little bit at the time. You have to do it in steps, and that's why you have to be close to the risotto to really get that creaminess, to continuously mix it and stir it.
One of the things you have to be careful also is that everything has to be inside the liquid. So that's why we look the wall here around the pot. It's nothing around because we want to be everything inside. So it's going to be cooked even. I add part of the shredded beets and add a little more broth and a little more beet juice.
Do I have to stay by the risotto all that time, 14, 15 minutes? Well, not really, you know. We jump around the kitchen, but you always have to have your mind, your ear to what's on the stove. And sounds can tell you a lot. What could happen to a risotto, since there's a lot of starch, and if you can see in these bubbles, they're glossy, they're viscous, and that's the starch. Starch can scorch very easily, so you always have to keep the base clean and moving. either mixing it or a little bit more addition of stock, lowering the temperature.
We're gonna whip the risotto with butter, goat cheese, and grana padano.
This is the reduction of balsamic vinegar. I spilled a little here, taste it. It's also good on ice cream. This, you put ice cream, you have a nice sundae with balsamic vinegar.
Goat cheese, so a little grana padano, cheese. If you don't like goat cheese, you can use anything else, any other cheese, soft cheese like brie or camembert or fontino, taleggio.
When you add them like that, the last minute, not cooking that much, you get the maximum flavor of the cheese, the maximum flavor of the butter. Whatever you put in really stands out. He's shaking it a little bit. He's trying to get some air in there, also gives it a fluffiness. This is a traditional step in cooking risotto in Italy. It's good. A little salt, maybe pepper. Allora, it's time for you and I to taste. You know,
Finally.
Every chef needs a little reward at the end. So I'm ready. I'm finished with explanations.
That's for you.
Thank you. Grazie.
It's for me.
Allora,
Salute.
buon appetito from our table at Felidia to your table at home. Get cooking and enjoy. Salute. The rice is al dente, you know, Italians, that's what we want. The beets bring the sweetness. And the goat cheese and the balsamic vinegar, mystery, what is this ingredient? Altogether, it's really delicious. Click on the link below, get the recipe and get cooking. Chin chin.
Salute.
We cooked for Pope Benedict as well as for Pope Francis when they came to the United States.
We say the risotto is not going to wait, not even from the Pope.
Pope has to sit down and eat his risotto. And Francis loved his risotto.
Oh, yeah.